Hey everybody. Today we are going to react to Jay Reid's reaction to people on TikTok talking about how they're in America, they're skipping Christmas. They're basically boycotting because of the cost of living and the cuts and layoffs that have been happening there. Jay always has really, really good videos. He always has great compilations. Let's see what he's got for us.
This long ass list of all these people buying gifts. Yeah. I spend so much money on Christmas every year. So I literally said to myself, this year, I'm still in debt. You know, circumstances have only changed of I have a job now, I have income coming in, but I don't want to spend all this money on gifts. So I don't want a bunch of people to buy me gifts. I'm not going to buy people gifts. There's like 3 people on my list that are getting gifts from me this year. And it's okay to say no. It's literally okay to say, let's not do Christmas. Let's not exchange gifts. Like, I'm not going to buy gifts. That's okay. Set that boundary because you don't need to be wasting all this money on spending money for Christmas.
She's also 100% correct that it has gotten completely out of hand.
It's gotten out of hand. And if you're in debt and you're not in a good financial situation, don't. I highly recommend against it. I say you set a boundary. You don't need to spend the money and just be selective. At the end of the day, it's all about being selective on the people that you're buying for and how much you're spending on them.
If it's not for kids, and shout out to the creator, this is absolutely what I've been saying for the longest of time. And finally, people are starting to get traction on this in some kind of way, guys. Even kids, I would be having tough conversations as well, especially depending on my financial situation, you know, in many different, households. But if it's not for kids, I'm not buying Christmas gifts. That's just the reality, especially when we talk about being in credit card debt. Like people are already living paycheck to paycheck. Like it's not worth it. I've saw plenty and countless of videos of people across the entire internet who are saying they are completely skipping Christmas this year. And, before we get into this next video, guys, sit down and really think about what matters the most during the holidays. I'm not saying to not decorate. I'm not saying to go out here and have a dull holiday season. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But the blatant consumerism, the blatant, just going out here and spending wasteless money on stuff that we're not even going to look at the next year, that has to absolutely stop right now.
I saw another, I think it was a short on YouTube, where the creator was talking about how we spend so much money on new decorations every year and how they go to the thrift store every year because there's so much recycled like holiday decorations and stuff that you can buy really, really cheap just the next year instead. And I was like, that is a banging idea. My child and I love thrifting anyway. I'm kind of gutted that I didn't think of that idea this year, but it also goes to show how much we actually waste. How much money we waste on silly, stupid stuff. And I'm as frugal as I am and as cheap as I am. I know I'm a big culprit. Sometimes I get caught up just as much. If you don't have the budget and you can't control yourself, don't go. Don't go out. Don't go shopping. Like just order 1 or 2 things online for the people that are on your list and that's it. Like, don't even bother.
This sucks. I'm not saying to, not spend money because that would be horrific for the economy in terms of, causing everything to just, blow up for all these retailers. That would be horrific. But I'm talking about go out here spending all this money and going into debt for Christmas. That has to stop immediately.
Some of y'all have lost the plot and it shows. When Harriet Tubman said she could have saved so many more if they only knew they were enslaved, this has got to be what she was talking about. We are not canceling Christmas because we can't afford to take care of the children that we created. We are canceling Christmas so the powers at be can learn very quickly that we cannot be played with. You understand that when you go out Black Friday shopping, Christmas shopping, you are putting your hard-earned dollars, really your underpaid hard-earned dollars, into the pockets of Fortune 500 companies that are worth billions and trillions of dollars.
And they have all the money in the world. Like their CEOs and their kids, the people that are at the corporate level, they're doing fine. Okay? The executives they're going to have a great Christmas. She's right. You guys all work so hard. I know I've been in that position. Everybody works so hard because they don't want to let anyone they love down, and they want to make sure they do better than they had when they were kids and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't always mean that you have to do it with things and money oriented stuff. You can just make it beautiful on your own on a low budget.
Then they take that money and they fund the campaigns of all of the politicians that have been playing in our faces for the year 2025. Healthcare, income, taxes, your SNAP benefits, whatever it is that does affect you, the politicians that are sitting in positions of power right now have been bought.
Mind you, it's on both ends of the political perspective. I'm not saying that the left is as bad as the Trump administration, but we've seen this happen throughout the years of the United States.
And they have been bought by the companies that you are about to go spend money with.
They're both right. And I know this is applicable to the UK as well. You're basically doing the same thing. And you got to remember, a lot of these companies are international companies. You know, you're spending the money here, but it could be going anywhere across the world, and they could be exploiting anybody in any part of the world. So they're 100% right. I agree with both of them.
So if we take away our dollar, they will feel it and understand, wait a minute, we can't keep doing these people like that. They're going to call the politicians that they put in power and say, hey, stop with the shit. We're losing money. And
I saw another video too about somebody that was ranting, not necessarily about Christmas boycotts specifically, but just the cost of living universally right now. And they were saying that the only thing that these people care about is green. All they care about is money. So if you don't hit them where it hurts, nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's going to change. And you're just going to keep spinning your wheels and going through these motions. And in the end, you're going to end up with a bill. It sucks.
And either the politicians are going to make some stuff happen, or they're going to lose the funding from these Fortune 500 companies that are becoming wealthy from our hard-earned, underpaid dollars.
While that's true, it's also untrue at the same time. Hence what we saw earlier this year at Walmart. You know, Walmart came and begging to Trump. They was like, hey, we're losing billions of dollars. We're losing a lot of money in tariff, cost alone this year. They said it. And you know what Trump came out and said? He said, eat the tariffs. He said, eat it because we're generating so much money. He said, because you're paying us so much money and put it into our pocket so we can build our ballrooms. That's what Trump said. I mean, I get what she's saying. I understand exactly where she's coming from. And part of it is true. Part of it, I just don't agree with. I get what she's saying.
But I disagree with them a little bit on that, because that's fine that the administration took that position. And we should probably have a little bit more of that kind of gusto when our politicians want to do something. I don't necessarily agree with Trump or the tariff situation that he's created, but I get I get why he did that, and I do kind of agree with that specific decision. But the problem is that Jay's not really addressing here is that the Walmart is then going to go back and raise the prices on the consumer to account for the tariffs. They're not going to take the hit. There's no way in hell that any of these big companies are going to take any kind of hits unless we force them to, unless they're not making money on it. That's the only time they change things. It's the unfortunate truth. It's reality, though.
It's very important things that she's talking about in that video.
Power to him for getting a big sponsor. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Family hates Christmas time when it comes to me. Because, they'll be asking me, what do you want for Christmas? Hell, I don't know. If I want something, I just go buy it. And if I ain't got it and I want it, I can't afford it. And I doubt you can afford it too.
So this comment broke my heart, but unfortunately it's the reality of where most people are today and where a lot of us have been in our lives. So of course I just had to give my thoughts on it. Number one, if it's the adults in your life that you can't afford to buy for, they will understand. Yeah. And if they don't, that's a them problem, not a you problem.
Absolutely.
So don't.
Absolutely. Even if they're adult kids, like 18, 19, early 20s, like they're going to have to learn at some point. Money doesn't grow on trees, and some people can't afford it. Some people have rough years. Tell them to go F off.
Don't feel guilty about it. Number two, if you have children, I know that it can be heartbreaking, right? Not to give our kids the Christmas that we feel that they deserve. Let me tell you, as a mom of two, who my kids are now adults, my children remember the memories and the experiences from Christmas way more than the gifts. Yes. Okay. So Let me give you a
maybe there's one or two gifts where they're like, they really, 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 really wanted it, like that new bike or something like that. Maybe that they'll remember. But the same thing with my child, she's still a teenager, but she's like, yeah, I would much rather just like go out to eat or, you know, go do something fun in London than have a bunch of presents under the tree. She's the same way. She barely remembers a lot of the gifts too. That's an us problem from our trying to compensate for our childhoods or our lack in our lives.
a few ideas that I have. Decorate the tree, right? Put on Christmas music, make it fun, dance around, get them involved, make hot chocolate, things like that. Like make it a whole moment. Make up a thermos of your favorite hot beverage, like hot chocolate or whatever you guys like to drink. Jump in the car, drive around your neighborhood, find houses that have Christmas lights and displays.
Shout out.
I was so gonna suggest that because we used when I was little, we had no money either, and we used to do that every Christmas at least one time. We would just jump in the car and drive and just look at the Christmas lights because that was like our entertainment for that weekend or whatever. Because we couldn't afford it, and that was the Christmassy thing to do, right? Especially in America, because they go nuts with the lights. Great suggestion. Amazing suggestion. And I remember that to this day, that we did it every year, more so than I remember some of the gifts I got.
Out to the creator. Y'all, listen, this is exactly what I mean. Make experiences. Guys, I don't remember much of the gifts that I got when I was younger, but what I do remember is going out. My parents taking me out to the biggest house. It wasn't in our neighborhood, but we went to the biggest house in one of these rich neighborhoods. They had nice places, and they had amazing Christmas lights. We even went to the zoo, and we used to ride through the zoo and see all the lights and the music. That is what I remember growing up.
Like both the creator said and Jay has said in this, it's about experiences. It's about creating memories. That's the biggest, most important lesson I've learned in the middle of my life, is that all the things are crap. Whether it is small, like a piece of jewelry or a nice makeup, or it's a house. It's just a really big thing at the end of the day. You don't need it to survive. You need a house, like you need a place to live, a safe place to live to survive, of course. But you don't need like a big house with a big garden and all that kind of stuff. You just don't.
I do remember some of the toys, but a lot of them, I was like, that it was cool. Like I couldn't even sit back and count the things that we got in Christmas, right? Even though it wasn't like a ton of stuff. Some of the games, like I remember, but I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, when we're kids, we remember those experiences. We get excited for the feeling that we get. It's not the materialistic things that we get.
They love that stuff. Let them help with decorating the house. Make paper garland. Create a free Canva account and go on and print out.
I used to do stuff like this all the time too, especially when my daughter was little. And we would do like theme parties, and I would like go on Canva or PowerPoint or whatever, find something on Pinterest, and that was like 99 cents for like a bundle of decorations, and I would just print them out at work, and that would be like the decorations for the party or the game or what we played or whatever, and it was free or 99 cents.
Coloring pages, let them do that. Use those pages to decorate your house. Have a couple of bucks, go buy like a package of sugar cookie mix and a thing of sprinkles, like at Walmart or Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever. You should be able to get like what you need for like under $5 if you don't have it on hand. Let them help make Christmas cookies. Like my kids loved doing things like that. Find out when all of this Christmas specials are going to be on TV and make a whole movie night of it. Make some popcorn. Hit up Walmart and Target and stuff like that after Thanksgiving when they put all of the leftover candy on like super clearance. Grab a bag, save it for Christmas night. Who cares if it's not red and green, right? It's candy. Kids are going to love it. Let them do mix-ins with their popcorn, like make up their own little batch of popcorn to have a Christmas movie night. And the number one thing that I can tell you that my kids love most about Christmas morning were their stockings. So I know you said you can't do Christmas. And of course, it's private info. I have no idea, like budget-wise, where you're at. But if you could do even a stocking, hit up the clearance sales that are going to be coming up from Halloween for candy and little toys and things like that.
Shout out to the creator. I'm going to link the rest of the video in here. It's pretty long on there, but she's just giving ideas. And that's the biggest thing. Give ideas, right? Like give solutions. That's what I'm about. What's the solution to it? And that's the thing. Find out what matters most. It's not opening these massive, controllers and these massive Hot Wheel toys and all these. It's not spending thousands of dollars on adults and buying them shoes and all these great things, electronics and TVs. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The thought does count. I'm not saying to not go out and do it, especially if it's something that they need. But I'm just saying, like, the mindless spending of buying stuff that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. What is the point at the end of the day, especially when you are going deeper into debt in your life, in your everyday lives? That's all I'm saying.
100% agree with him on that, especially when they're young, because they're not going to remember. They don't remember the tangible thing all the time. They remember how it felt to get the thing from you. That's the most important thing. And that woman did. She had great ideas. Great ideas.
Everybody talk about Christmas is canceled. Christmas is canceled. Well, shit, I'm glad I was broke anyway. Try again on fucking Easter.
If you don't got no money to buy Christmas gifts, just don't buy them. You just got to tell your family, like, this year I can't do it. I'd rather have a roof over my head than to pay for you a toy or a gift card or a new air fryer. Just tell them you can't do it. Don't feel bad. You just can't do it.
That's it. And you got to be real. You got to have a real conversation. It's not easy. It's tough. It's tough regardless. But I would rather do that and people just got to, be let down in some kind of way than to also turn around and, be deep into debt, deeper than I really was in the first place. When I'm slowing down the progress within life. I would rather give people more experiences, spend more time with them and, make better and more richful time with people versus just mindlessly spending money. That's all I'm saying.
He's 100%. Every creator on there was 100% right. The other thing I would say in closing is it is a difficult conversation to have with people, but think about it this way. What if the shoe was on the other foot and someone that you really, really cared about was struggling, but went into debt or didn't pay a bill just to give you a present? I know for me, that would make me feel awful. If I knew that my best friend was going into debt just to give me a present because they didn't want to say no to me at Christmas, I would feel like crap. I would feel completely awful, especially if I knew they were struggling. So just think about it that way. Everybody has points in their life where they struggle. I'm getting a little emotional about memories are coming up. Everybody has times in their life where they struggle financially. Everybody has to take it down a notch or take it back down to basics and start over. It's okay. It's okay. If they really want to be in your life and they really care about you, they won't care. They'll just want to have a coffee with you, maybe come over and watch a movie and like that one was saying, bake cookies or whatever. You can make it an event without the present. It's not about the present. And if you want to boycott or you want to do what you have to do for other reasons, that's perfectly fine too. Doesn't have to be that you're in financial strain. Maybe you just don't want to deal with it. That's perfectly acceptable too. We have to be able to stand our ground and enforce our boundaries. Great video as always from Jay Reed. Thank you so much for your permission to react to your videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you can have a wonderful holiday season that is filled with presents or filled with experiences or both, however you decide is best for you.